Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Cassandra. I do a lot of Disney World content, a lot of resort stays. I do a lot of videos for that. Also some of the theme park, and we also do some Universal resorts and theme park as well. So I thank you for tuning in to the channel today. In today's video, we are going to look at every club level at Disney World. I did this same video about 2 years ago, and I ranked all the Disney World club level resorts from the best to the worst, and now we're gonna do it again. I've stayed everywhere at least once from the time of the last video to this one, so some things have changed and my rankings have changed, and some people have asked for this video, so that's what we're gonna do today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy it. So first of all, I am going to go through every club level at Disney World and just tell you the resorts that have them. Well, I'll group it into sections or areas of Walt Disney World. So we'll start with the Epcot area. You have Disney's Beach Club has a club level, the Yacht Club does, and the Boardwalk Inn. Those are all over there by Epcot. For the Magic Kingdom Resort area, you have the Grand Floridian, the Polynesian, the Wilderness Lodge, and then you have the Contemporary, which has 2 club lounges, the 12th floor and the 14th floor. Then we also have Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is over in its own separate area by Animal Kingdom. And then you have Coronado Springs Resort, which has a club level, and it is the only moderate resort to have a club level lounge. And if you aren't familiar with club level at Disney World, it is just a different category. When you are booking your room, it will say concierge or club level. It's much more expensive than just a regular room, but with that, you get access to a dedicated club lounge, dedicated concierge staff who can help you with tickets, help you with fast passes or lightning lanes. Now, you know, whatever you need help with, they can help you with dining reservations. And in the lounge, you will have food offerings all day long, different services. You have a breakfast, a snack time, which is during lunch, a dinner called evening hors d'oeuvres, and a dessert offering. The lounge is usually open from 6:30 to 7 to 10 o'clock at night, and the offerings will change throughout the day. So that is just a brief synopsis of what you get with club level. Like I said, there are only certain resorts that do have the club level, and those are the ones I mentioned before. During this ranking, I'm going to look at 6 different things. We're going to look at the location of the resort itself, pros and cons of that. We're going to look at the actual food that is served at every offering. We're going to look at the cast members and how just outgoing, helpful, kind, friendly they are. You know, the cast members can go above and beyond, and then sometimes they just, you know, all the cast members are great. I will say that for sure. All of them. Some of them are just elevated to just a higher level than others. So that's something I really am going to look at because it really can make a difference and make you really remember one club lounge more than another. We're also going to look at the rooms, the size of the room, the location of the rooms, the views, things like that. We're also going to look at the lounge itself, the size, is it busy, is there enough seating? And then lastly, we're going to look at the price. So club level, since I started staying there a few years ago, at least 3 years ago, the price has, of course, gone up dramatically, like everything else. But it's pretty expensive. So we're going to look at which ones are at the top. You know, there is a little bit of give between the lowest price and the highest price. So we're going to look at the prices that I could find. And I looked just before doing this video, I was looking a couple days ago. So these are up to date. There's pass holder prices that I looked at and the rack room rate. So we're going to look at those prices as well. All right, let's start with number 10. So we're going to have 10 total because the Contemporary has 2 club levels like I mentioned, and I'm going to count those separate. So we're going to have 10, and we're going to start with 10 as my least favorite and go all the way down to 1, which would be my number 1 that I would love to stay at. So some people really love this club level, and that's great. I'm glad they do. For me, it's just never one that I really want to stay at, and I'll tell you why. But number 10 is Animal Kingdom Lodge. Francisco is a diamond in the rough. He is amazing. He's a cast member there. If you go to like Disney boards or group chats, you can see that he is just talked about a lot because he is great. So friendly, so lovely. So this is not to discredit his effort at all, but this lounge is it's just my least favorite. Animal Kingdom Lodge is located in the Animal Kingdom Resort area. Like I said earlier, the only transportation options there are bus to get to any of the parks. So that's a little bit of a drawback. As far as the food goes, the food is good, but it's not food we love. Every time we go, I usually end up having to get some kind of food for Kate. Granted, she's a picky eater, so that can be said about a few of these lounges. But the food is, in my opinion, and for our family, is just so-so. Again, like I mentioned, the cast members, Francisco's great. Some of the others are really great too, so I don't want to discredit that. That does not come into play here at all. You know, they were great, but it still wasn't enough to overlook the things that we don't like about this resort. As far as the rooms are nice. You know, they're located on the Savannah. They're all Savannah view, so you can get a nice view. I think they need to be refurbished pretty soon. They're getting some wear and tear on them. And like I said, the balconies are nice with the view. You always get a view. However, these rooms can be very far from the lounge. It only has to be a Savannah View room for you to book the club level, and so they can book it very far away. The only rooms that are right there on the level with the lounge are DVC rooms. So it might be a good idea if you want to try to stay here to rent points and book a DVC club level room. I think it's a studio. And that might be, you know, really good. This past time we were just there, we got assigned a room far away, and I asked if there was any way we could be closer because I knew it was going to be a huge inconvenience, and they were able to move us. We were only staying one night, so that might have been why they were able to. I can see where it would be, you know, a little hard. And maybe they want to put you in a room right away if you're there early and they give you all that's already clean. So I can understand that, but I don't want to be very far away from the lounge. The lounge is a convenience. You pay for all the food offerings, to have the drinks handy, to go grab snacks, and it's just a major inconvenience for us to have to go very far to the lounge, especially if you have kids and you might want to bring breakfast back to the room, which I do at times. It's just a long trek. So that's a major downside for me. The lounge itself does get very busy, and you tend to have people that hang out in that lounge also. I think it has to do with the fact that rooms can be far away, so people might want to just hang out there, you know, so they can have snacks and chill instead of getting a snack, going back to the room, coming back and forth. It might just be easier to hang out in there. So it does get busy, and we've been there a few times, and there were no places to sit. And when your room is far away, that's a real bummer. Even though we were given a room that was closer, it was still on a different floor, and it was still a little bit of a walk. So the price, this club level used to be one of the least expensive ones, but they've increased the price lately to make it up there in the top price, which to me is not worth it, but you know, other people, like I said, love it, and they don't like it when I put them at the bottom. So I apologize to them, but this is our opinion. So right now, what I could find, the cheapest room that I could find, the rack rate price was $955 per night, and the cheapest pass holder rate I found was $811 per night. All right, guys, let's go to number 9. Number 9 on my list is the Polynesian Resort. It is a lovely resort, beautiful. The one thing I will say that we think about this resort, when the weather is bad, a lot of this resort is outside. A lot of the walking to your rooms and things are outside. So when the weather is really rainy or cold, it can kind of put a damper, you know, it can kind of dampen your mood and the whole vibe of the resort. But it is a beautiful resort. It's very popular. However, the club level there is my number 9. So the location is Magic Kingdom Resort area. You can take the monorail straight to Magic Kingdom. You can take a boat straight to Magic Kingdom, or you can walk over to the TTC, get on the monorail headed to Epcot, or you can just ride the monorail from the Polynesian past the Grand Floridian, the Magic Kingdom, Contemporary, and then it'll take you to the TTC where you have to get off there and get on the Epcot line. So you could do that, and then you have buses to take you to the other parks. The food there is okay. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's adequate. The cast members there are nice and accommodating when you need anything. They're just not very, they don't approach you a lot. They're not very outgoing. They're just not very engaging. They kind of keep to themselves unless you need something. And then, of course, they are more than happy to help you out. I've never had anyone be rude to me, but they're just not as engaging or friendly. The rooms here are nicely decorated. They're themed after Moana. I like the decor. I like the size. The location, so you can get resort view, which is going to look at the quiet pool, not the feature pool, but the quiet pool. You can get water view, and you can get theme park view. So the best view we have ever had from a Disney balcony was our water view room there, club level at the Polynesian. And we got a water view, and I just asked to please, because here's the other caveat, all second floor rooms do not have a balcony. They have a door, they have a sliding door, but there's no balcony. So you can open a sliding door, and then there's a wood like fence type thing right outside. It's not even a Juliet balcony where you can step. It's just kind of like a gate, a wooden gate or a wooden fence. So when we checked in, I asked to please have a balcony, and they gave us one. Luckily, they had one. We were there for 3 nights, I think, and the view was amazing. We could see Seven Seas Lagoon. We could see the fireworks. You could hear the music because you're right overlooking the beach right there. It was an amazing view. My favorite view ever that I've had. Now, the lounge itself has a lot of seating. You have an upstairs area and then a main area for seating. You have a TV upstairs that has like cartoons and things. All the lounges usually have a small little TV with cartoons playing for the kids. But there seems to be enough seating there. I don't remember people having to fight for seats. And I forgot to mention this, but all the rooms at the Polynesian Resort club level are pretty close to the lounge. I think there's a few of these like really expensive rooms you can get that are not right there in the Hawaii building, but all the rooms in the Hawaii building go to the club level lounge, and they're really close. So it's not a long walk from your room to get to the lounge. The lounge itself, the serving area is tiny. It's just a little horseshoe. All the food is cram-packed in there and the drinks, and you could probably comfortably put, I don't know, 8 people in there, and you just have to think. You've got people constantly, and they're trying to stop and do their coffee or fill their juice or get their food. It's just too small. They need to fix that. Make it bigger so that so many people aren't jam-packed in there trying to get their food. It just makes a traffic jam. Plates get dropped and broken. It's not good. They need to make it bigger. So that is a definite downside. There's a beautiful view. The front of the lounge is full of nothing but glass windows. Overlooks the beach and the Seven Seas Lagoon. Beautiful, beautiful view. Now at nighttime for fireworks, you can see the fireworks, but there's a big glare in the windows. So it's better if you would just go outside and watch them on the beach. That would be, ideal. And you're right there, so you might as well. But the view from the lounge is not that great. The view during the day is beautiful. You can see, you're on the beach. You can see the beautiful lake, and you can see Magic Kingdom. So it's nice during the day. Also, there's no outside seating area at this lounge, so there's nowhere to sit outside either. Now the price. This is one of the priciest ones. The pricing I found for a Resort View Club Level rack room rate was $1,021. For a Water View Club Level rack room rate was $1,245. And for the Theme Park View Club Level rack room rate, it was $1,379. The pass holder rates I found were Resort View $867, Water View $1058, Theme Park View $1172. So very expensive per night. All right, number 8 is Coronado Springs. Coronado Springs is located, they call it the Animal Kingdom area. It's not walkable or boatable via boat to any of the parks, but so you do need a bus to get everywhere. And to me, that's a bit of a drawback because it's nice when you have at least 1 or 2 different options to have transportation to the parks. The food there is good. It's not outstanding. It's not terrible. To me, it's just good. They have a few options, and sometimes it's adequate for us. Sometimes the kids need other food, but I thought it was fine. The cast members there are kind. They're friendly. They're a little bit more engaging than some of the other lounges, but they're still not, super engaging. Go out of their way, talk to you, ask how your day is, things like that. The rooms here I like the decor in the rooms. They have a regular just club level room, tower club level room, and then they also have like a deluxe suite. I like both those rooms. The deluxe room is nicer. It's bigger. It's very pretty. I like that one. And I like the decor in them. The decor is very nice. They can be located far from the lounge. They're not always right next to the lounge. They could be on a different floor. Coronado Springs is a very big resort, and the Grand Destino Tower where you stay is very large. So you might not be very close to them. So that can be a bit of a drawback because they're far away from the lounge. Also, there are no balconies. This is a moderate resort, so this resort has no balconies. So that's another downfall on my list. The lounge itself is very large. It's well decorated. There's plenty of seats. People tend to camp out here as well, probably because the rooms can be far away. But the lounge is nice. It has board games, a lot of stuff for the kids to do. So I really do like this lounge. It's pretty and just lots of things to do. The view is nice. There's a nice view. There's a lot of windows, but again, there's no balcony because none of the rooms here have balconies, so there's no balcony at the lounge. This is the most affordable club level you can get at Disney World. It's the cheapest, and what I found when I was looking, a regular room, not the deluxe suite, rack room rate was $674, and the pass holder rate was $572. And then the deluxe suite, the rack room rate was $937, and I found a pass holder rate of $656. So not too bad considering all the other prices can be hundreds of dollars more. All right, let's go to number 7. My number 7 is the Beach Club. The Beach Club is located in the Epcot area resorts. It's a great location. You can walk to Epcot, very convenient. You can take a boat to Epcot. You can take a boat to Hollywood Studios. And then you have buses for the other parks. So as far as location, I really like the location, especially if I'm really wanting to go to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. I tend to try to gauge where I'm going to stay as to what parks I really want to go to. The food is good. It's a seafood. There's a lot of seafood because it's Beach Club, just like Yacht Club. The theming is beach, and that goes with seafood. So they do stick true to their theming, and the food is good. They have nice seafood options. They have other options as well, and it wasn't outstanding or excellent, but I thought it was good. Another thing I really liked is they started adding these little wraps to the snack service. Usually the snack service doesn't really, which is lunchtime, doesn't really have a lot to offer as far as meals. It's just typically snacks. But now they've added this little wrap in there at the Beach Club, and I liked that. That was nice. Cast members here are nice. I've had some great interactions with some of them, and then sometimes I have zero interaction. So it's kind of hit or miss, but some of them have been very, very outgoing and just friendly and talkative. The rooms here are very nice. They were recently refurbished, so they're nice and refreshed and clean. I do like the theming of the rooms. The main rooms, not the one bedrooms, are close to the lounge. They're all on the same floor. But if you get a one bedroom, you're going to be further away. We recently stayed in a one bedroom, and it was further away from the lounge. And beware, not all the rooms, even the club level rooms, not the one bedrooms, do not have balconies. So you just need to beware if balconies are really important to you, like they are to me. Be sure to ask for that when you check in, and hopefully they will have a room with a balcony for you. You might have to wait a little longer, but that's one thing with this resort. And the ones that don't have balconies have like a Juliet balcony. So you can actually step out, shut the door behind you, but it's small. There's no room to sit at all, and there's no chairs or anything to sit on. The lounge itself is a pretty good size. When we were there, it was very, very busy. People were waiting for seats. It was a Saturday night, so Saturday nights are going to be the busiest, but it was very busy. So Kind of keep that in mind. The lounge could have used a few more seats, but I can see like on a slow night, it probably wouldn't be as busy in there. There is an outdoor area, but there's no chairs or tables to sit. It's just for standing only. I was told you can see fireworks there, but we did not get a chance to try that out. As far as prices, what I was able to find, a resort view club level room, rack room rate was $978, and a pass holder rate for that room was $782. And typically a water view is going to be about $100 more on each of those. Now we're going to move on to number 6, which would be Wilderness Lodge. Wilderness Lodge is located in the Magic Kingdom area. You can get to Magic Kingdom via boat or bus. There is no monorail. You can get to the other parks via bus. The food there, I really love. It's kind of a homey, earthy, comforting food. They always have a soup. So I can appreciate the food, and I really do like their food there. They often have barbecue or like roasted chicken or something like that. That's real, to me, filling and homey. The cast members here are very kind. They're somewhat engaging, not the most engaging we've seen, but not the most quiet that we've seen. The rooms here really need a refurbishment. They're getting worn, and I hope that's coming up soon for them. What I hate about these rooms on the club level is that and these are not for the deluxe rooms, just the regular rooms at the club level. The balconies are in a hole. You have like a wall all the way around you, and the only way you can see out is to stand. So you can't sit down and see anything. If you sit down, you're looking at a wall. And I really hate that. I love balconies. I love sitting out there. So that's a huge downside to me. The deluxe rooms, like I said, are not near the lounge. All these rooms are near the lounge. They're not near the lounge. They're on a different floor, but they do have a regular balcony that you can see. So you have to kind of choose which one you want. And of course, the deluxe rooms are more expensive. The lounge itself is large. It doesn't usually get very busy that we've seen. There's plenty of seating, and it's decorated nicely. They do have an outdoor fireworks viewing area for Magic Kingdom, and they pipe in the music. It can get crowded out there because it's 2 small little balconies, but they do have that to offer. The rates I found for a Resort View Club level room, rack room rate was $939. The pass holder rate was $751. A deluxe room, rack room rate is $1214, and the pass holder rate for that was $971. Now let's move on to number 5, which is the Yacht Club. The Yacht Club is located in the Epcot area. You can walk to Epcot from there. There's also a boat that'll take you to Epcot or Hollywood Studios, and you have buses to take you to the other parks. The food there is exactly the same as Beach Club. They have the same menus. There's slight differences here and there, but for the most part, they're the same. The cast members here seem to be a bit more engaging than over at the Beach Club, but they're still not the friendliest, most engaging we've seen, but they're still friendly and nice. And like I said, all the cast members at all the resorts are very friendly and accommodating. It's just how much they interact and give you tips and reach out to you is what I'm looking at. The rooms here are nice. They were very recently refurbished, and I love the refurbishment. It's bright colors. It's beautiful. I really like it. All of these rooms have balconies, so you don't have to worry about that. The resort view rooms do look over the resort. Some of them are rooftop, so it's not the best view. The water view is amazing. I've had a couple water view stays here, and every time I've had a fantastic view. This past time we saw the fireworks. Beautiful, a beautiful view of the fireworks. So I do recommend a water view room here. The lounge itself is about the same size as Beach Club. The only difference is you do have an outdoor sitting area, so there's a couple tables and chairs. This outdoor viewing area does not show you any fireworks view because you're at the front of the resort. So the view from the outside sitting area is not great, but at least it gives you extra tables and chairs to go outside if you would like. Now, a resort view room at the Yacht Club I found would run around $969 for a rack room rate, and the pass holder rate was $775. And again, for a water view room, it's about $100, sometimes $120 more per night. All right, let's go to number 4, which is the Grand Floridian. The Grand Floridian is located in the Magic Kingdom resort area. You can take a monorail to Magic Kingdom or Epcot. You can take a boat to Magic Kingdom. You can walk to Magic Kingdom, and then you've got buses also that'll take you to the other parks. So you have a lot of transportation options there. The food is good. I wouldn't say it's excellent or great. It's a little bit more upscale than some of the other resorts, but it's still good. I just thought it was good. Some of the items were great, but I'd still call it good. The cast members here are very nice and friendly. They're not as engaging. They stay more aloof than most of the other resorts. So the cast members here aren't quite as approachable. They don't come up to you as much and ask you about things and, engage with you. The rooms here are beautiful and they're all very close to the lounge. You might be a floor up or down, but it's really not that far of a walk. I love the decor in the rooms. They're very elegant, very classy. They're our favorite rooms at Disney World. And we love the Grand Floridian itself, but the rooms are very, very nice. You have balconies. You have different views. I've only stayed resort view here before, so I've only seen the resort, and that's a nice view. I'm not sure what the theme park view looks like, but I would assume you get a good view of the fireworks. This is the largest lounge. It's huge. It was recently redone, like I said, I think a year and a half ago, and it's just a very large lounge. You can sit up a floor, down a floor, plenty of seats, plenty of serving area. You don't ever feel like you're crammed in there anywhere, so it's very nice and spacious, and it doesn't ever seem to be very busy. They also have a really nice outdoor seating area where you can see the fireworks. It's really big. You can see the fireworks. You can hear the music. It's very nice. So I really do like that outdoor area. The price I found for the Grand Floridian club level rooms, a resort view club level room rack room rate was $14.47. A theme park view rack room rate was $15.97. The pass holder rate for that theme park view is $12.78, and the pass holder rate for the resort view was $11.57. This by far makes the Grand Floridian the most expensive club level at Disney World. Very expensive. You also have deluxe rooms there, one bedrooms, thousands of dollars. All right, let's go to number 3. That would be the Contemporary Resort Atrium Club level. The Atrium Club level is on the 12th floor. Again, the other club level there is called Tower Club, and it's on the 14th floor. But this is the 12th floor one, the Atrium Club. Contemporary Resort is located in the Magic Kingdom Resort area. You can walk very quickly over to Magic Kingdom, which is very convenient, very convenient. You can take a monorail if you want, and you can take the monorail to Epcot. You can also get to the other parks by bus. There is no boat there. The food here, I really like, the kids really like. It seems to be a bit more upscale, a little fancier. I always really like the food here. They always have a sushi offered, some type of roll. Sometimes it's just a veggie roll. Sometimes it's tuna. So it's nice to have that little bit of a sushi option. They have salmon a lot. They've got beef. It's a nice menu. I really like the food here a lot. The cast members here are okay. They're not very engaging, kind of like the Grand Floridian. They will help you any way they can. Super friendly when you approach them, but they don't approach you as much, which some people might like. It just depends on what you like. We love the rooms here. We love the theming, the incredible theming. The bathrooms are some of my favorite. They're just very shiny and fancy and elegant. I really like them. They feel spacious. The balconies are nice. You can't get a bad view here. You either get a lake view, which is beautiful, overlooking the lake, and you can see the electric water pageant at night, or your theme park view. So you're looking at Magic Kingdom, which is another beautiful view. You cannot go wrong with view here, which is another thing I really like. The lounge itself is small. It really needs to be bigger. There needs to be more seating. It's often very crowded and people go back to their rooms. Luckily, your rooms are pretty close to the lounge. So that's, one thing you can do is just take the food back to your room. But the lounge is too small. You do have an outdoor viewing area for the fireworks. It's just a balcony out there that you can stand and watch. And it does get crowded during fireworks time because they pipe in the music. But it's a nice view. It can get quite loud in that lounge, specifically because you're on the 12th floor and you're overlooking Chef Mickey's and all the hustle and bustle down on the 4th floor. So all that noise kind of funnels upward and it does get loud up there. Now let's look at price. For a resort view club level room, rack room rate is $10.74. For a theme park view, rack room rate is $12.43. And the pass holder rate for the resort view is $8.59. And the theme park view pass holder rate is $9.94. So still expensive. Not the most, but pretty high. All right, let's go to number 2. Number 2 is Contemporary Resorts Tower Club. This used to be my number 1. And and it's just fallen. I don't know. It's still a great club level lounge, but the last time I was there, I wasn't overwhelmed with joy and awe like I was before. One thing is they are letting more people. So since I did that first video, it seems to be in more demand now. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's all in my head, but seems to be in more demand. And so I think they're allowing people to go to both lounges. Like if you request the 14th floor, there's only a few rooms up there, unless you get a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and those are pricey. So there's only a few, and it's called Resort View Club Level. You know, you book a Resort View Club Level at the Contemporary, and then you ask to be assigned to the Tower Club. There is no Tower Club booking, so that's a little confusing for people. And if they really wanted Tower Club, I think they're just letting them access the Tower Club Lounge because it is bigger. So, you know, it seems to be busier on the 14th floor now. But this is number 2. The resort, of course, is the Contemporary Resort, same location and transportation. The food is the same, exactly the same. Both lounges have exactly the same. Used to, you could only get the sushi on the 14th floor, but they've brought that to the 12th floor, which I love. You know, it's great to offer it to both of them. And the price is the same for the rooms, so I think that's really good that they did that. Cast members are essentially the same as well as in the Atrium Club. The rooms, this is where it differs. These rooms are big, much bigger, and they have a very nice balcony. Beautiful balcony. Double, triple the size of what I've seen at any resort in a regular room. Love, love, love these balconies. They are amazing. But there's only a few rooms, so if you're lucky, you're going to get one. If you're not, go Atrium Club, and they might let you come up there to go to the lounge. So that brings us to the size of the lounge, which is large. However, you have to think there's not many rooms up there. So square footage wise, it's probably the same as the Atrium Club on the 12th floor, but it feels bigger because there's just not as many people. Now that they're letting 12th floor people go to the 14th floor, it's getting more crowded. I could tell the last time I was there. Same with the outdoor balconies there. So they have beautiful viewing area for Magic Kingdom fireworks. Piping the music, they have furniture to sit on, very nice. But they're letting more people, so it's getting more crowded. Used to be maybe 1 or 2 families would be out there. Now you're gonna have 7 or 8, you know, a lot more. So that loss of exclusivity kind of brings it down on my list a little bit. I know what I wish they would do is just bring it back to where you could book it itself. If they want to charge a little extra, charge a little extra, because you do get better perks on the 14th floor for your room and your balcony. I wish they would do that, but it doesn't look like they're going to do that. So I still love it there, but you're not guaranteed to get it, and that can be upsetting to some people if they really have their heart set on that. The only way to guarantee you get it is to book a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom that is up there, and those are very expensive. Again, all the rooms here on the Tower Club are close to the lounge. It is quieter because the 14th floor is blocked off. You don't overlook any of the Contemporary Resort. It's all closed, so you don't have that funneling noise coming up. So it's quieter, more relaxing, just more chill. That's another advantage to the 14th floor. Price-wise, exactly the same. Like I said, for the rooms, they're exactly the same. You just have to ask when you're checking in if you can have a Tower Club room. And they may have one, they may not. Like I said, they're very limited. All right, this brings us to number 1. My favorite club level resort at Disney World is the Boardwalk Inn. I feel like this resort gets overlooked by a lot of people, but we love it. We were there in July. We actually booked a deluxe room there, and it was amazing. But we've stayed in a regular room there, and it was great. Yeah, that's my number 1. The Boardwalk Inn is in the Epcot area, so you can walk to Epcot, you can take a boat to Epcot or Hollywood Studios, and you have buses to take you to the other parks. The food here is excellent. We really like the food here. It's just really good. We always get full here. We always have plenty, and it tastes really good. We love the food. The cast members here are the best that you will ever encounter. They interact with you. They offer you things. They give you tips. They want to get to know you. They are amazing, so friendly, just above and beyond with everything. it makes your trip so memorable when they do that, and they do it every time. Every time I've been there, it's been that way. So it's not like a fluke. You know, sometimes I get more interaction than others at other club level lounges, but here I always get that same level of care and interaction and engagement for me or my kids or just whoever wants to chat it up with them. They are happy to do that. Absolutely love the cast members here. The rooms here are nice. Now they're a little bland to me. They were redone not that long ago. They have kind of light green and light yellow colors, so they're a little muted, but they're clean and fresh. They're just, and they have cute, Disney theming in them. But I can see where some people might think it's not quite bold enough. But we like them. I like the rooms. All the rooms are close to the lounge. You could get a room that is on a different floor if you want a deluxe room. But they do have deluxe rooms on that floor, but I think it just depends on how busy they are. So all the rooms are really close unless you get, like I said, a deluxe. And even that room wasn't that far. It was just up a floor or down a floor. I can't remember. But it was not on the same floor, but it wasn't too far of a walk. So you can get a resort view, which is a fine view. You're going to see, part of the resort, the quiet pool. I think some of them overlook like the little cottages. So that's a fine view. The deluxe room we had a boardwalk view, which was amazing. That view was amazing. You could see the street performers. Again, I have videos of all these resorts, so please check out my playlist of club level stays in 2025 and just go through all the videos so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm putting in clips here as well, but for the full videos, please check them out. But you could see the boardwalk street performers. You could hear the music. It was relaxing in the morning when, there was hardly anyone out. And then in the evening, it was fun to just sit out there and watch. And the street performers will interact with you on your balconies. So it's a lot of fun. It really is. The lounge is small, but we've never seen it that busy that we couldn't get a seat. So even though it is on the small side, it never gets very, very busy in there that we have seen. It's decorated nicely. They have some really elegant touches in there. And they have this little beverage cart that has nice different types of glassware on it. That's real beautiful. And that's a nice little touch they have in there. They do not have an outdoor seating area. So that's one drawback to the lounge. It'd be nice if they had a little balcony or something out there, but they don't. Price-wise, rack room rate for a Resort View Club level room I saw was $981. Pass holder rate was $784. The deluxe room rack room rate came in at $1166, and the pass holder rate was $932. So that is all my rankings. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. One thing I will also mention as far as rates is try to use a bounce back offer for your club level room. You tend to get a better rate than a pass holder rate. Sometimes pass holder rates are only 10% off. Sometimes they're more. Bounce back offer tends to have a higher percentage off of the rack room rate. So keep that in mind when you're doing your bounce back offers. We love club level. The kids love club level. So we plan to continue to stay there. It's pretty expensive, so we have to do it sparingly. But I hope you found this video helpful. Please check out all my other videos. We will have more videos coming up. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe to the channel.